and we just talked about being a mom and about how like I feel like we give so much of our times to the kids at school. I'm trying to also get better at not like hanging out and talking, trying my very hardest to make sure that I'm leaving as much of the work for work as possible.
When I saw you, I would lose control. Made me feel like there was no tomorrow. Should have told you that you're beautiful, but the days pass and now it's so long ago. Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be?
I left a hot mess on Friday, and I totally knew this when I was coming in this morning. Just because I was trying to get out so quickly, I didn't even really look at anything. So I spent some time this morning trying to get all of that cleaned up, tidied away, because I like to have a nice clean area before I get started with my day. I don't know, it just makes me feel a little bit better versus like having a mess and me trying to like figure everything out. Now I am going to actually have a meeting in 30 minutes, which is pretty good. Like I do have a lot of time to be able to get things done. This morning for math, what we are doing is we have placed them into different areas of instruction that we feel that our kids need to be in. So they took a pre-assessment, like a bigger pre-assessment, to kind of figure out and identify, are you in 3rd grade? Are you in 4th grade? Are you in 5th grade? Are you in 6th grade? And now what we're going to do is we've identified kind of what unit they would be in. Are they in a place value unit? Are they in the multiplication? Are they in the division? Are they in the fractions? So today what we're going to do is we're actually going to give them their pre-assessment for that specific unit to figure out what skills they need to work on. So that way we can kind of get our grouping a little bit more like tighter knit, if that makes sense. So we always strongly believe, especially in my district, that the kids need to be given the level of instruction that they need. If you have a kid who is working on a skill, for instance, they've already got division with remainders, why are you having them sit through division and remainders? Move them on, get them doing something that is what on their level, what they actually need. So we're gonna give this pre-assessment this morning. Then after that I have lunch. Y'all, we have the earliest lunch ever. And then we have this huge chunk of time to be able to do reading and writing. We are not gonna introduce content this week. We're gonna introduce it next week, just because we need to get done with our DRAs. So our focus is going to be on DRAs, and then I'm also starting a narrative unit, which I'm very, very excited about. So I will show you guys more about the narrative unit in a bit, once I start to get some of those things printed out so that you can see what it looks like in person. But I am starting a narrative unit with the book called Roller Coaster, which is super cute if you have not read it yet. And I'll show that to you guys in a bit. But I am going to go ahead and make some coffee. I feel like my voice is like I haven't been talking very much. How many of you don't say anything in the morning? Because I don't really talk to my family in the morning. They're all asleep, and then I get to work and I'm like, oh, I still have like sleepy voice. So I need to go make some coffee, get rid of my sleepy voice, and get ready for the day. It's Monday. Yay! Can I just say that I feel so very proud of my little writing lesson because it went so well. So here's the book that I used. The book is called Roller Coaster, and it's incredibly, head sideways. The book is called Roller Coaster, and it's super cute. It's about this little, it talks about how people, some people have been on roller coasters, some people have only been once, but there is one person on this line that has never been. And then it starts talking about the experiences of a roller coaster and what happens when they get on it. And then, I don't know, it's just cute. So it just talks about this little girl's first experience. That's the little girl right there. And she ends up absolutely loving it. Look at that face, she's so sweet. She ends up absolutely loving it and then wanting to go all over again. So what we ended up doing is I created an anchor chart that says roller first experiences. And I decided to kind of frame it on things that we have done for the first time. So for me, like I said, you know, I remember the first time that we had a fire outside. I remember the first time I went to New York. I remember the first time I rode a taxi. I remember the first time I went on a train, and then I rode a plane by myself. So those are like my first experiences what they were like. So that was kind of our brainstorm for the list of ideas for this whole big huge unit topic. And then the kids, we should walk over here. And then the kids got to, this one's dirty, I don't know why. They got to fill out one of their first experiences. So they had the little tickets to be able to get on the roller coaster. They drew a little picture here, and then they wrote really quick just what their first experience was. So some of them did things like the first time that they went to Chuck E. Cheese. Let's see, what else do we have? What that one was. The first time that they ever went to the beach. Super, super cute. So they're kind of brainstorming their list of ideas there. We were not able to finish, but that's okay because I'm going to give them about 5 minutes tomorrow when they come in for writing to be able to kind of wrap those up. And then from there, tomorrow what they'll be able to do is then they're going to pick one of those stories, one of those like small moments, and then I have like a little snapshots, because when you're on roller coaster they take pictures of you. They have like the little snapshot, so they have to list it out and what happened first, next, then, and last. So this is going to be their brainstorming for their pre-writes. So that is what we were doing, but I was super proud. I really like my anchor chart. I think it's really cute. Sometimes I'm really good with my anchor charts, sometimes they come out awful. So overall it's a pretty uneventful day today. The kids did a really good job just coming in and getting straight to work. We had our pre-assessment for math this morning, so I need to go home and get those graded. I also need to grade my word study as well. Then in reading, the kids just kind of got a chance to read. I had to do DRA, so I'm in like DRA madness this week. And then hopefully next week will be like finally starting some of that curriculum for reading, which will be really nice. So that's really about it. That's all I had done. I do want to get started with some word study going on in reading, so hopefully I can get those going so that the kids can get those started this week. Other than that, that was pretty much it. I don't really have much to share with you guys. I'm really, really sorry. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pack up and just go home and enjoy my family for a little bit. So I will catch you guys hopefully later on. Okay, so really quick, I did want to show you this. So I am actually taking this home today, but I wanted to show you the file folders that I have. So I have 3 different colors. I have green, I have red, and then I have blue. Because we are going to have our kids going in and out between us, and we want to make sure that we're keeping track of all of the information, all of their assessments, any type of checklist that we have for them. We needed some type of a system that could go in between us. So if, you know, Johnny over here finishes up a unit in math, they can move into one of my other partner's units, then it would be so much easier that way, just to be able to hand her the folder and be done. So we've broken them down. We have blue for math, and then writing is red, and then I have green for reading. So like I said, we're going to keep all of their assessments. I'm going to grade their pre-assessments, file them into their folders, and then I also have some checklists that I'm going to show you guys a little bit later on that are going to go into the writing and also the reading that will keep track of some of the standards that they've mastered. So this is kind of how I'm organizing it. I found this little bucket inside of my disgusting downstairs that needs to get cleaned up and organized, but I found this downstairs in my basement, figured, hey, why not, I'm just going to use it. And then I have a couple of goal work things that I need to finish at home too, so I'm going to get that done there. But thought I would show this to you a little bit. I'm showing you the side view, sorry, because it has like first and last names on it, so I can't show you all of that, but I did want to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. Decided I was going to stop at Michael's for a quick stop. There are a couple of things that I want to do in the boys' rooms, so I figured that I would stop and get a couple of things in there. Hopefully I don't get into much trouble at home, because I tend to spend a lot of money when I go to Michael's.
Spending time far away was never what I meant.
So I'm being brave and I'm vlogging in the parking lot again. Good morning, everyone. I'm so tired this morning and I don't understand why. I just don't know. I'm trying to get all my things together. I am here rather early this morning only because I graded my math assessments. I did not grade my word study assessment, so I need to get that done this morning. also have a meeting this morning with ELA. So I'm doing an ELA meeting this morning. So trying to get my things so I can get in the building and get to work. And it's so like foggy. So cool. I love it. I'm sorry for not vlogging this morning. I have literally been sitting at my computer. Actually, I've been sitting at 2 computers. One of them is down, but I've been sitting at 2 computers this morning, literally just trying to get some checklists done. I want to have something for standards for once all the groups kind of get underway, that we can start checking off whether kids are starting to meet some of those standards. So that's what I've been doing right now. Let me show you what one of them actually looks like. So here's what this looks like. This is only for the literature unit, and then I have it broken down into each of the larger areas for teaching. So we have broken them down into questioning and inferring, story elements, summarizing, and then we have theme and point of view, and then figurative language. So what I've done is I've literally just broken them down into the I can statements and just looking at very specifically to like its smallest degree of what is it that I need the kids to be able to understand. I have 3 blocks here because you can either, I think every teacher can use this a little bit differently. I like to view it as, are they able to do this within a passage, a picture book, and within a larger piece of text? Or you can do it whether they understand it over a certain period of time. So I think this can work for the way any teacher wants it to work. So I kind of sent this out to my district so that they could use it in with other teachers around the 2 schools. But this is what I've been working on. I have 4th grade done. I need to get 5th grade done, which is what I'm doing now. So I have my lights turned off because my head is killing me this morning. Again, surprise, surprise. You guys are probably like, you are sickly. Like, you need to take some vitamins. I have been taking vitamins. My husband says I don't eat well, which is probably true, but I did have a salad last night. Like, we made salad with some of our leftover beef that we had from the party. And drinking water. I actually drank 3 bottles of water during school time yesterday, and I had limited myself to 1 Diet Coke. So, but I still drink coffee like out of the wazoo, which is probably not the best for me. But my head hurts really bad, and I think it's sinuses, and they were cutting grass, and it just flares it all up. So I'm sorry I have the lights turned off, but that's what I did. My partner, KW, I'm gonna name them KT and KW, just because that's probably the easiest way for me to like name them. So KW was in my room, and we just started talking about being a mom because it's her son's birthday today. And we just talked about being a mom and about how, like, I feel like we give so much of our times to the kids at school, and we dedicate so much of ourselves here, and then we take so much of our work home, and instead of spending time with our families, like, we are doing work. Like, I go home, I spend some time with my kids, I take care of my house, I do things like that. But then once like my kids go to bed, instead of spending time with my husband, I end up doing more work. You know what I mean? So I am like determined today to get some of this stuff done. I'm not taking anything home this afternoon except for my backpack and my computer. And I'm gonna hopefully enjoy my family. So it was interesting that I was like thinking this today. Like, I was thinking about it all morning long, and it was funny that she just kind of brought it up and we started talking about it. So the kids are going to be working on a spiral review. So we have a 3rd grade spiral review that we're gonna put them in groups with until we kind of finish getting all of our groups ironed out. So I have a few kids that are in our place value unit for math, but some of them are all in different areas. So there is kind of writing numbers using standard form, expanded form, word form, and some of them have done really well with that. And then there are others who just simply need the rounding piece of it and the problem solving piece of it. So I still need to figure out some of those groups, and I still have about 10 kids who have not finished the assessment. So I'm gonna let those kids finish the assessment. I'm gonna work in some of the groups with some of the kids using this, and they're gonna be able to work on IXL because goal work is not done yet. I didn't finish it. C'est la vie. Okay, so that's kind of the game plan for this morning, and then I will show you guys what we have going on hopefully a little bit later on this afternoon. It is my lunch break. I just got done having lunch, and then we ended up deciding that we wanted to do our word studies and go ahead and start like getting those launched. So I kept like battling my brain out because I was like, I remember I did something last year and I couldn't quite remember what it was that I did. And this morning I actually had another 4th grade teacher that was in my room, and we were just kind of talking about some standards and some checklists, and she reminded me, and I was like, that is exactly what I did. But so here's what we're going to end up doing. Because all of the kids are going to be on different levels, we always start them on the level that they need to be started for their word study, and we kind of progress them from there because we want to make sure that we're giving them a really good foundations with the spelling patterns and everything that just spelling wise. So we decided that we're going to go ahead and start everybody kind of like on the middle of the road. So we're doing a green 4, which is like doubles, drop in the E, nothing at all type. That's kind of the title for that word study itself. So we decided that we're going to do that, and we're going to take the kids through the processes of what it would look like and sound like for when we're going through and completing our word study. So today the kids are going to get to watch the video on Schoology that's already been posted. They're going to do their notes page. If you guys remember this from last year, it's the exact same thing. They're going to do their notes page, and then we're going to give them their words. This year, because I did not want to go out and buy, because they were a little bit expensive at the Container Store, the little plastic envelopes that I used last year, I didn't want to purchase those. We decided that we're just going to end up using some envelopes. I'm going to have them glue it into one of the pockets inside of their like work in progress folder so that the kids can be able to access their words whenever they need them. So they're going to watch the video, they're going to complete their notes, and they're also going to do their sort, cut out their words and place them in there. That is what we're going to do today, and then every single day we're going to show them how to complete one of the choices that they have for their choice boards. So we're going to take them each day through something and show them the expectations that we have for it. So it's going to last probably going into the very end of next week, but that way we've already set our expectations, they understand what we're looking for, and then after that we'll start letting them make their own choices, and then they'll be on the level that they need to be on for their word study. I see all these kids running everywhere outside of my window. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get my other things ready today. Today for reading, I'm going to be doing Making Connections. I'm using the book Owl Moon. I think it is such a fantastic read. I love it, and I like making connections. I like that entire lesson itself about making connections, because I feel like that's one of the things that we all like to do. We like to connect with the book, and we like to feel like we're a part of it, you know what I mean? So I'm excited to teach that lesson today, and then I'm just going to continue with my DRAs today. We're DRAing it up. So that's all I have for you guys. Hopefully I'll talk to you guys a little bit later on during one of my next breaks. Today was such a great day. My headache started going away. It's not fully gone, so like don't think that, but it did start going away. I started feeling a little bit better, and the kids did such a great job today. I was very, very proud of them. Y'all, this morning they came in and it was like the best ever. Don't know if I already told you that, but it was like they came in quietly, they got to work. Me just throwing in origami into the whole choices for them kind of like got them excited. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm hoping to add another choice for them tomorrow so that they can kind of pick and choose for them, but they're really excited about the origami piece of it. So it is now the end of the day. The kids have already gone. They've been gone for about 5 minutes or so. I'm trying to get myself better at not taking work home, which I told you guys about. I'm trying to also get better at not like hanging out and talking. I was really good at it when I was at my old school in kindergarten. Last year I kind of fell off the bandwagon, and I'm starting to feel again this year that I'm starting to like talk with people more. And I don't know if that's just because I'm in the process of getting used to having partners and still kind of finding my way and how am I going to manage those different things. And I didn't have a partner when I was in kindergarten. It was just me, myself, and that. So I didn't really have anybody to talk to except for myself. But now that I have partners, I kind of have to learn how to manage some of those things and kind of figure that stuff out too. So that's what I've been focusing on kind of today, is really saying, all right, I need to make myself a to-do list. I need to make sure that, you know, I'm not taking so much work home, because that really starts to weigh on you after a while. And it's still September. It's not even October yet. It's a little bit too early for me to be doing that. So I did sit down during my lunch break and I made myself like a little checklist that I needed to go through. And this was pretty early in the morning. I had only had math at that point. So here's kind of what I have. One, I need to finish gold work labels. So I am going to be stopping at, I think it's an Office Depot, like on my way home. So I am going to stop there to pick up some label paper because Walmart did not have any last night. I also need to grade my word study test, but because we are kind of pushing word study back just a little bit more, I'm giving myself a couple more days to be able to get that done. So I'm not going to stress about it today because I would like to go home at a decent time. I do need to sort my kids into math groups. Now this is not an exception. I absolutely have to get my kids sorted into math groups, so I need to do that too. Math lessons, I kind of have that planned out. I just need to review it, make sure I have all of my materials for it, and then I need to go and grab some math manipulatives as well for this lesson that I'm going to be doing tomorrow. My reading and my writing lessons, I have those. I want to start planning those out for next week, so I have that in my book to get done. I need to have those done by Thursday. That lets me have Friday to be able to make any copies, anything extra, so I might be able to get a little bit of it done sometime tomorrow during my break. So that's kind of my focus for tomorrow. And then I also need to pick up some things for writing folders. So I do want to have writing folders this year just to be able to organize some of their papers. I don't want it in their work in progress folder just because it starts to get crowded. This afternoon we did spend quite a lot of time, not a lot of time, I mean we spent about 10 minutes being able to clean out our folders and make sure that they were nice and neat. So now their folders are pretty much all emptied out and they're pretty clean, which makes me feel really good about myself. So I'm glad that I have this like chunk of time in the afternoon to be able to get things like that finished. So the only other thing that I need to get done today is really just be able to make a couple of copies. So my focus is I'm going to make some copies for my word study that's going to happen tomorrow. I also want to get my kids grouped into their math, and I also need to make sure that I have all my materials for my math lesson tomorrow. If I have that, I get to go home. So I'm going to go ahead and get started checking off the rest of my math tests and getting those kids sorted into their groups.
Even though you're okay, I wish that I could give you all of me for you to save. When it gets dark, I'll take the blame for what we are. I'm not sure that we can keep getting out of emotion.
I just got done placing my kids into their groups. So what I did is the assessment is kind of broken up into the different areas for like the standards itself. So we have like the standard form, the word form, the expanded form. That's all kind of one group right there. Well, really, I have some kids that are starting at expanded form because they got word form and they got standard form and word form. So some of them are starting in expanded. Then we also have some kids who are starting in comparing, some kids who are starting at rounding, and then also another group that is starting with word problems. So based on exactly what they need, I've kind of grouped them that way. So I have 4 different groups that are in place values, then I have a division group as well. So I have that done, that is planned out. I pretty much have everything ready to go. My partner KW has a couple of things that I need to get from her in the morning. She's already left today because it's her son's birthday. So I am going to go ahead and make some word study copies, and then I should be done and I get to go home too. And I'm not going to take anything with me, which is very, very exciting. So I'm going to go do that. I need to write these into my plans so that I can just make sure that I quickly just go over things this evening, make sure I create my little to-do list because I like to create those at night. I haven't been very good about it, but I am going to start getting good about it now. So what I'm going to do is inside my little planner that I take with me, because I don't take my teacher planner, I'm going to make sure that I write down all of my groups that I have going on for tomorrow, and then that way at night, right before I go to bed, I can kind of make my to-do list and make sure that I have everything that I need to have. So I'm gonna go make those copies really quick, and then I'm gonna come back, make sure I have everything ready to go, and I'm gonna go home, guys, and it's daylight still. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Calculating the equation. Spending time on my own. Oh, you never there to wait to run your phone. Even though you're alone, I wish that I could hear the words for me to carry on my own.
Still not. All right, I am leaving. I am done. I've turned off all of the lights. I do need to make a quick stop at Office Depot, so I will do that since it's on the way home. And then after that, I get to be home. I'm very excited about that. I don't know why I'm really just ready to go home, but I really am. Even though it was like a really great day, I'm very excited to go home. So I will catch you guys later on. I absolutely had the best night last night. I went home, I didn't have a ton of stuff that I was hauling with me. I was able to cook dinner for my family. We sat down, we had a fantastic meal together. We cleaned up together. I cuddled with my kids. It was just one of those nights where it was just nice to be a mom. You know what I mean? Well, if you're not a mom, then you don't know what I mean. But it was nice to be a mom yesterday. So I'm gonna continue to make sure I create my little to-do list because I like to create those at night. I have been trying my very hardest to make sure that I'm leaving as much of the work for work as possible so that I can really enjoy my family, because it just relaxes me and it allows me to, I don't know, like do some of the things that I love. And I know what you're probably thinking. You're like, Bridget, you're on YouTube. And I love doing YouTube. That's the thing. I love doing YouTube. I love taking photos, and I love sharing things, and I love being on social media, and I enjoy that type of thing because I like to make connections with other people everywhere, and not just within my district, not within my school, not within the people that are in my hallway. I like to make connections with a ton of different people. I have never been that person that is like, I'm social. I like to go out. I like to get to know people. I am the most socially awkward person ever. If you ever meet me, if you ever meet me, I would be like, oh, okay. I don't know what to say because I'm just that socially awkward person, and I literally don't know what to say to people sometimes. So I like doing this. It's like, it allows me to talk to you guys. And it like makes me like bridge, like I'm bridging the gap a little bit of me being socially awkward and like being able to communicate with people. I don't know, I feel like I'm just rambling. Anywho, so this morning I've decided that I'm gonna get rid of my projector. I need to start using my Apple TV more. My district gave this to me, so it's like, hello, I need to use it, and I have not been using it the way that I should be using it. So I'm going to start projecting my morning message up here versus me having it on my projector, just so that I can start kind of easing myself into that as well, because that was one of the things that I just truly need to work on as a teacher, is incorporating the technology that my district is giving me, which I'm so thankful for. I'm just not very good at it. So I have to really kind of focus in and try to find ways to be able to incorporate some of those things into my lessons. I'm gonna start with morning message because it seems like the easiest thing to do right now. So I'm gonna do my projection up here. I also went out. Ooh, that's fun. All right, I also did go out and I was able to pick up some sticker paper. I did not do anything with it last night, but I do need to print out some labels so that I can finish the goal work that I have for math. And then I bought these really bright yellow pocket folders. My partner is KW. She is doing writing folders, and I said, you know what, like I didn't use them last year, but I think I like her idea of using them. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring out some yellow folders for our writing information, because our kids are gonna stick with us for writing. We have them grouped nicely, and I think that's gonna be the best thing for their needs. So they're not leaving us, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and create some labels so that I can place them onto here for their writing, and then I can get some of those things started. I also have writing journals that I need to give out, or math writing. I also have math journals that I need to give out. So I have those labeled already. I want to write their names on them and then be able to hand those out. And I don't know how many of you have actually seen this. Okay, so one, I'm not a fan of like having spiral notebooks. I don't like spiral. Spiral drives me nuts. Spiral has the paper come out. I'm not a fan of Spiral. However, this is what we had. And when you have 71 children, you take what you can get. So we are using Spiral. And I don't know how many of you have actually seen this, but I remember back when I first started doing some journal notebooks, that type of thing, like journal entries, I absolutely loved it. I loved doing foldables, and I have like a huge foldable book, and I have all these different foldables that I've done in the past. And I saw this one, and this was another idea that I had gotten. But you take one of these small pockets, and then you'll glue it down into the cover, and then anything loose that you might have, it could be rulers, protractors, anything that you have that could be like a tool for them to be able to use, can be placed inside of here, and they could easily take it out and find it during math time. So I think I'm gonna have the kids also glue these inside of their math notebooks so that they have them for group. Very excited about that. And then that's really about it. We're kind of figuring things out now. I do have my math groups planned, so I need to make sure I go over my lessons one more time because I did not do it last night like I said I was. But I did have it. I mean, that made me feel better, right? So I have my math lessons. I'm gonna go ahead and review my math lessons, make sure I have all the materials that I need for each of them, and then I will catch up with you guys a little bit later on. So because 4th grade in math is a little bit new to me, I am sitting here kind of talking to myself to be able to, I'm getting stuff out of here, to be able to kind of understand what I'm doing today. So I figured I'd go ahead and just turn on the camera, and you guys can just listen to me go through things. I don't want to show you the plans because these are district plans. These are things that were created by the district, so I'm not able to show you anything like this. But really, it just kind of walks you through and tells you what you're doing for each lesson. Now, the lessons that they provide for us are lessons that were created by the math teachers in the district. They did a curriculum rewrite, I don't remember when, but they're gonna do another one, I think, and break up a couple of units and add some word problems and things to that extent. But the units that they created were created by math teachers, which is like a bonus, always a bonus. And these are the lessons that you need to be able, you need to teach these lessons, but then if you also have kids who are not understanding things, you can always supplement and add more lessons into what it is that you're doing, which to me is like perfect teaching. So I need to grab a sticky note. I need to grab a sticky note, and I need to kind of jot my thoughts down of what it is that I'm doing. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I figured I'd let you guys listen in on me as I'm working things out in my brain, trying to figure out what I'm doing. All right, so I have one division group, and we've taken the pre-assessment. So today they're going to do the discovery lesson, solve addition problems. I need my I can statement posted, and I'm going to provide them with a discovery challenge before. Okay, all right, so that's really about that all I'm doing for today. So theirs is pretty much very, very simple. Now when I get into the place value group, they're a little bit all over the place. So I have 4 different groups. I have one group that is starting from the very beginning, so they are actually going to have their discovery lesson as well. I do need to make sure in the group discuss the discovery challenge, give each, I need a place value chart, review each place value if needed. I wanted to do, and I think what I'm going to do in here as well, we're going to do some definitions, and I need to pull the actual standards to be able to do the definitions. So we're going to do some definitions as well in division group, and I'm going to do the same thing in my place value group. So I want to do some definitions, and then I have a little flip book for place value. I'm a big believer in giving kids their learning targets. I want them to understand what is it that they're focused on. What is the goal that they're focusing on when they're learning that day? Whether they're doing an assignment, whether they're working on a project, they need to have some type of a goal. I feel like that's really, really important. It's almost like you, whenever you kind of go out and you want to lose some weight, well, you're going to give yourself goals. You just don't want to lose weight to lose weight. Maybe you want to lose 5 pounds. Maybe you want to lose 10 pounds. Maybe you just want to cut off 1 or 2 pounds. You're giving yourself a goal so that you can be able to reach it. Kids need that exact same thing. They need to have those goals so that they're a little bit more successful. They feel successful in the end of it. So I always give my kids an I can statement whenever they come to the group. I tell them that this is what we're going to focus on today, and then we always go back and we review ourselves and we say, well, what did we do in order to focus on this I can statement? So I need to write some of my I can statements. Now, I don't really have places for them right now. I'm not sure if I'm going to have places for them. I haven't quite decided how I want to do my groups yet with this different setting. Dry erase sentence strips is absolutely perfect for this. So I'm going to have each math group have their own little sentence strip. And as they come to group, I'm just going to pull that one forward and have it kind of hung up on my whiteboard so that they can see it. So let's get started. I'm gonna write these down and have these ready.
Some nights I'm having a hard time keeping my head above the water. Cold breath, I cannot stand up, too much weight on my shoulders. Messed up, I wanna stay together, but I need someone who's holding. And oh, I have someone who's holding when you call it like mad.
I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with my last break of the day because I don't like the fact that I have this huge chunk of time in the middle of the day where we have to combine reading and writing and content. It seems like just a really, really long time. But I do love the fact that I have this time to be able to kind of prepare myself for the next day, because by the time the kids come back, I have this like 20-ish minutes with them, and that's going to be spent for them kind of making up any work that they need to finish. I can pull an extra small group, which is what I'm going to have to do today to get them caught up in math, and then I can also use that time for them like to get ready to leave. So I have like a love-hate relationship with it. Right now I am loving it because I've taken this opportunity to just sit down and I've kind of looked at my next day, figured out what it is that I need to have finished. So I ended up changing my math plans just a little bit. I was going to start math groups, and I did start math groups. However, the plans didn't start today because I completely forgot that we're introducing like math journals. So I wanted to introduce math journals with them. So we really spent some time kind of talking about our math journal. So we spent this time kind of talking about our math journal, and we also set up the table of contents page. So it's not anything fancy, it looks like this, but I wanted them to be able to do it themselves. So I kind of had them take 3 pages, they numbered it front and back 1 to 6, and they created a table of contents on each one of those pages so that they knew that those pages were reserved for table of contents. We also went through and we had taken a little bitty folder like this, and they glued it here in case they have any type of a sort that they never finish, something that just requires them maybe to glue things in and we just can't get to finishing it, and they have these loose papers. I always hate having those little bitty like loose cut up pieces everywhere, and when I was in kindergarten we had pencil boxes, so it worked out perfect for them to place them in there, but here we don't have that. So they're going to actually use this to place any of those little cutouts that we have that may need to get glued on another day and place them inside of there. So it's just going to be a place to have like extra, it's a pocket of sorts, you know, for whatever it is that you need. So that's what we did today during math. I need to catch up one of my groups. So one of my groups is going to come to me this afternoon after special. I'm going to do that with them while the other kids are getting themselves packed up and getting the classroom ready for the evening. So I pushed my math lessons to tomorrow, so I have all of those ready to go, but I already started looking at what they were going to look like for Friday. So I started kind of jotting those things down. Depending on whether or not I finish them, I need to go back and kind of make those changes, but I'll do that tomorrow when that happens. I did write down my like writing plan, so we're going to finish a couple of things. I do need to make copies, and I can go ahead and make that anchor chart this afternoon. So that's what I'm going to do. And then reading, I need to double check and see what I wrote down in my other plans. I haven't done that quite yet, but I did write down that I need to look at that. I also went through, I don't know if you guys remember, and on my planner, this is my small planner that I take back and forth with me, fourth with me. So on here, I went on ahead and started writing down some things that I need to get done. Things just like I need to go ahead and print some labels, which I'm gonna have to do at home just because, or I actually can do that here. No, that's a lie. I can do that here, but I do need to print out some goal work, but that's gonna have to be at home because I don't want to stay too late. So I am gonna spend just a little bit of time at home just making some copies because I have prettier paper there too. So just want to make that note. I also want to make copies for the next week's word study so that I can do that this afternoon once all of the kids leave. And then I also need to work on their writing folders. So those are a couple of things that I do need to get done this afternoon before I go home. So I kind of have myself a little bit of a game plan for what this afternoon is going to look like and the things that I need to accomplish so that I can spend some quality time with my family. I feel like this video is a lot about me talking about trying to figure out the balance between work and life. So we're gonna figure out that balance, y'all. We're gonna get it. So yes, that is what I'm doing. Overall, the day has been really great. My voice has been kind of crackly here and there. I did make myself something warm so that I can drink that just because it was hurting a little bit today. But just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of an update. I'm gonna go try to finish up a couple of things. Maybe I can get some copies made. I still have 15 minutes. I might be able to do that. Might go into that and then I will catch up with you guys after school. It's almost about 5 to 4 at the moment. I just got done at the copy machine. I had to make a few copies extra that I wasn't able to get to on my break, but I did get them copied. So I have a bunch of the word work activities that the kids are going to be able to do next week because we are taking them every day. We're explicitly like telling them, showing them, modeling that for them, what our expectations are for each of these activities. We want to make sure that we do it right. So next week they're going to continue working on the exact same sort that they're working on this week. They're probably going to be sick of it by that point, but we're going to take them through each one. So we have Rainbow Spell, which is available front and back. They have Scrabble, which is like one of my favorites. So they have Scrabble that has like a grid. Sorry, it's like really bright. Scrabble that has a grid. Then they have Code Words, which is another favorite for kids. Well, the least favorite is the ABC order. And then we also have Build a Word that we're doing next week. So I've made copies for myself, made them for both of my partners. My partners have them labeled for the days of the week that we're going to be doing them. And now I'm going to go put these on their tables, and I need to paper clip these and put them inside of my file system so that I have them ready for next week. I was also able during my last break to get my labels printed. So I just used a large sheet of Avery label paper, and these have directions for each of the math activities that goes inside the goal work. So I have been working on doing 3rd grade. We do have some students who need to have some 3rd grade materials. So I've been working on doing some 3rd grade goal work, which is what this is. And I have all of the activities inside of these little folders that you can see here. So now all I need to do is be able to put the label that matches the activity on the folders. That is what I'm going to do right now and get this done. Okay, so now that is done. The only other thing that I really need to do with these, I need to number them, and then I also need to create the label here. So each one has a different label to it. So the squares represent 5th grade, the triangles represent 4th grade, and then the circles are going to represent 3rd grade. Because 6th grade is doing CPM, that's a little bit different. They're not gonna have goal work just yet. We quite haven't figured out how we're gonna have everything work for them, because I think a lot of what CPM is they're gonna be working independently or with a group on some of their notebooks that they have. It is a curriculum, so it's all like planned out for them. So I don't know how that's gonna look and if they're gonna be able to do any goal work just yet. But we do have 4th, 5th, and then a little bit of 3rd that we need for some of our friends. So we have all of that pretty much ready to go. I need to create the little label out of the vinyl so that I can stick that on there. Maybe I might try to do that tonight. I'm not really sure, but my silhouette's been a little finicky. It hasn't been working as great as what it should be working, which is kind of sad because I really do love that thing. So I have that done. I'm gonna check my planner and see what else I actually need to have finished, or what I intended to have finished, I guess. Let's take a look. Okay, so I made the copies for the word study. I've printed out the goal work labels, lesson planning, birthdays I can get done, and then I need some writing folder labels as well. So I need to do those 2 different things. Whatever I don't get done, I can do it tomorrow morning. Not really sure. So I'm gonna try to maybe do one of these, and then I am gonna head home. So I set a goal for myself and told myself that, you know what, 4:30 is gonna start to try to be the cutoff for me. There will be maybe one day a week where I stay a little bit later than normal so that I can get a couple of things done, but 4:30 is the cutoff. Y'all, I'm leaving at 4:16. It is 4:16 right now. I am gonna go home. I'm gonna enjoy my family, maybe get a little bit of work done this afternoon. I'm feeling really good about myself. I think this whole like mind frame and me really getting my mind focused for the day is helping me out so much. So I'm gonna go home and then I will catch you guys tomorrow morning. Okay, so I'm sitting down at home, obviously, and it's now Friday, and you're like, what in the world, Bridget? You stopped vlogging on Wednesday. I know, I'm sorry. I did not vlog on Thursday or Friday because, let's just be honest, like, school kicked in. Every morning, every lunch, every break, every afternoon, I spent it either in a meeting or I was collaborating with my partners on getting things prepared for the next couple weeks, getting our kids sorted into our reading groups because the DRAs were getting done. It was just a lot of talking, not to the camera. But I did want to sit down with you guys really quick and just kind of talk to you a little bit about this video this week, because as I was editing it and as I was filming it, I think right after like the end of Monday, it just kind of kicked in on me, and I really wanted it to be focused a lot around finding that balance. I get asked so often, how in the world do you do it all? And y'all, I cannot even stress to you that I don't do it all. There is just no possible way. I have to learn how to prioritize things. I have to learn how to let things go. I have to learn to say, you know what, it's gonna happen, it's gonna get done. If it doesn't get done, oh well, it's not that big of a deal. So I have learned to kind of let certain things go. And to be honest, I think kindergarten did this to me. In kindergarten, I was so particular about things. Like, I wanted things cut perfectly, so then I would cut them perfectly, and then I would spend all this time doing it. And then after like a year, I realized, y'all, they don't care. They don't care what it looks like. They are not going to be paying attention to it. So you know what? A lot of that started going away, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do my best. I'm going to take all 5 of these pieces of paper. I'm going to cut them up all at one time, because I know that it's going to get the job done quicker, and the kids are not going to notice the difference. So I learned to kind of give and take a little bit with some of the things that I do. So let's talk about some of the things that I did this week, and the things that I'm gonna really try really hard to continue doing over this next year. Like I told you guys, I feel like in kindergarten, I did a pretty good job of this towards the very end of my, I think I was going into my 3rd year, 4th year. I was doing a really good job of keeping that really nice balance. Once I came here, it was just, I didn't have that anymore. I was thrown into so many different new things, and I was trying to do so much that I didn't have that balance anymore. So I think the biggest thing for me that I'm gonna have to say that is saving my life is my planner. So this is my A5 planner that I have. It's a Kiki K. It's my thing that saves my butt half the time. But the thing about using a planner is that I don't use it to be cute. My cover's cute. I think it's adorable. To be honest, I really want another one. But I think my planner is the thing that saves my life, because I use it truly for I'm going to create this like task to-do list. I'm going to put down all the things that I think I need to get done. If something pops in my head, I'm going to write that thing down. And then I'm going to prioritize it. I'm going to figure out, you know what are some things that I can do easily at home that are not going to take me a long time? What are some of those things that I can absolutely do? Like, they're going to get done at school. I am not going to take that home, because I know for a fact that that's going to take me way too much time, and it's not fair to my family that I'm coming home and I'm working when I've already been at work for so many hours in that day. So prioritizing and figuring out what are some of those things that I can finish and get done before I even come home, and then kind of managing some of those things there. So I think I really am going to continue doing that, and really learning how to balance that. If I'm sitting there and I'm talking with somebody and I'm like, oh crud, I have like 20 minutes and I have got nothing done during my break, just saying to that person that you're talking to, hey, listen, I'm really sorry, but I have got to go and get a couple of things done, or else I am going to get swamped by the end of the day. So like, I even have that discussion with my partners, KT and KW. Like, they absolutely know that there were times, and they're trying to give me my space so much, and I love them dearly, but they completely understand that I need to have that balance of, okay, there are going to be times for us to be able to chit chat and talk, but there are going to be times that I really need to have this time to myself so that I can be able to get certain things done. So that is kind of helping a ton for me, and just truly spending time sitting down, thinking about all of the things that I need to get done, and writing it down inside of my planner, and really prioritizing it there. So every single time I have a break, I am opening this thing out. I am checking what I have written down and seeing what I've done and crossing things off, and really just kind of saying, you know, what are some of those things I can do? So I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if I just rambled just now. I'm getting tired. Y'all, when I stay up and I have to edit these videos on Friday nights, I think I go crazy because I am not good. Like, I have to be in bed by 9 o'clock kind of person, and typically these videos will take me a little bit for me to get like up and get going on YouTube in order for me to like go to bed. So I think I'm going a little crazy right now. I'm so sorry, but I had a really great week. I was really proud of myself on Wednesday and on Thursday. Thursday I ended up having to stay a little bit later just because we had a faculty meeting, but I did a really good job of keeping that work stuff at work and only bringing the very little things here at home to kind of work on the side, but really spending time with my family, which was important to me. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'm so sorry that I did not vlog on Thursday and Friday. I promise you I will do my very best. I'm not going to promise you that I am going to do it, but I am going to do my very best to vlog every single day. I'm truly excited because next week we are starting content. We are starting reading groups. We have math groups going. So it is like the full-blown, like, boom, this is happening with curriculum week. So I will be sharing with you guys some of like my planning tips and things that I'm doing inside of the classroom to help keep me organized with all of the chaos that's happening. So stay tuned next week, guys. And I also have like a little question for you guys. I was wondering, and you guys let me know just down in the comments, give the video a thumbs up if you think this is a good idea. But I was talking with my partner KW, and she had mentioned like me doing a video on how I teach writing and some of the things, like what does my writing workshop look like and what are some of the things that I do within my writing workshop, because writing workshop seems to be kind of the struggle for some people between adding in grammar and figuring out how to get kids to complete writing samples, that type of thing. So if you are curious on how I do my writing workshop, give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and I will work on that video this weekend so that I can get it up for you guys on Wednesday. I try to get this last video up, and if you have not seen it already, it is my journey through behavior management over the last 6 years, guys. 6 years of behavior management. I can't even believe it. But if you have not seen it already, I am going to leave a link to this so that you guys can go and check it out. Make sure you click on that card up there at the very top and go check out that video, because it talks you all through the 6 years of my behavior management, which I think was really fun to film. But I will try to get this next video up on Wednesday versus it on Thursday. I think Wednesdays are better days for me. So I'll get this video up, give it a thumbs up if that's what you would like to see for this next week. I will also have another Saturday weekly vlog like always, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Have a really, really great weekend. It's gonna be beautiful here, and I hope it's beautiful wherever you are in any part of the world. I love you guys. Bye.
Spending time far away was never what I meant to do for us. Even though you're okay, I wish that I could give you all of me for